If at first you don't succeed, try again is easy, right? But does that work in business? Jeannine O'Neill is founder of JO Social Branding, and welcome to the Language of Business.
Thanks for having me, Greg.
Your company almost failed. How did you save yourself?
Well, in the very beginning, I was just doing everything I could do to get my name out there. So actually, when I told a friend of the family that I was going to be launching my business, he said, be ready to just hit the pavement hard and knock on doors and do everything that you can. So I was blogging twice a week. I was speaking for free at local organizations and communities around the area. I was teaching at the local community college. I mean, any way that I could show who I was and what I was about and to bring clients in. And then I was on all the social media channels as well. And I just felt like I was hitting this wall. Like I was doing everything that I possibly could, but there was a disconnect that was happening and I didn't know what it was.
How did you then save everything and then quadruple in size?
Well, what had happened was I had built my own website because I didn't want to hire a web designer. I didn't have the money to hire a web designer, but I knew I needed a presence. So I'm pretty tech savvy and I thought I can build a website. I can train myself on WordPress. I can do this. I wasn't using professional headshots because once again, I couldn't hire a photographer, and had pictures of my own network that I was just using. So what ended up happening was about a year and a half in, I felt, this is good. This is where I want my website to be. And a friend of mine who's a web designer came up to me and told me, no offense, but your website is not good at all. Which, of course, because he's a web designer. But he said, no, the presence that you're putting out there into the world isn't reflecting the level of service that you're offering. And that really made me open my eyes thinking, oh my gosh, I need a website. So good sales pitch for him because I ended up hiring him and he did my website over. I hired a professional photographer because I figured at that point we're going to go all in with it. And 2 months after my site launch, my business quintupled. So that was the missing link. I had been putting my name out there in every way that I possibly could, but I was in some ways putting the wrong brand message or branding on my website.
Are you concerned this could happen again?
I don't think so because that was a big lesson that I learned, but I've taken those lessons and I've applied it to my own clients and the people that I work with and helping them make sure that their branding and their marketing and their social media is properly saying who they are, what they're about, and how they can help their clients.
Who are some of your current clients?
So I actually have a hairstylist who was a friend of mine, and she said she was going to be starting a business, and I said to her, just let me do your marketing. And I first looked at her website and her Facebook and her Instagram. Those are the 3 presences that she had. And there was no branding. And so there was just this disconnect between what she was putting out there and what people were actually experiencing when they walked into her salon. So the first thing was get a logo. We put it everywhere. We put it on our website, her Facebook, her Instagram, and we got her email marketing. And within 6 months, she quadrupled her business, and she was having 50% return month over month of new customers coming in.
And how about another client example?
So the other client that I have is a hotel, and they are not a new client. They're not a new business. They've been around for about 30 years, and they had a new hotel move into town. So they were getting a lot of attention. There was a lot of media that were following up on them, and everybody in town was excited for this year-round hotel, and this hotel that I'm working with was seasonal. So they hired me with their email and social media, and they knew who their clientele was. There was women between the ages of 45 and 55 that were booking to stay. They wanted a younger demographic so that they could extend the life of their business. So I got them on Instagram because I knew that that's where their audience was, and they had a very visual aspect to their business. They were on the ocean, they had a pool, they had a cafe, they had beautiful gardens, and I knew that we could represent them on Instagram and reach that audience. And what ended up happening was within 30 days of getting them on Instagram, the analytics and the insights on the back end were showing that they were reaching that audience, the 25 to 34.
Any other examples?
Yeah, so I actually have a real estate team that I was working with, and it's a brother and sister-in-law team. And when I first met with them, they told me that they have this dog. It's a ceramic dog outside of their office that they dress up, and they thought it was really funny, but people really responded well to this. And what ended up happening was in August of 2016, the dog was dog napped, which has happened a few times, which is a little concerning for me because it's become this brand mascot. And we just went on social media. We went on their Facebook page and asked the audience if they had seen Dottie around. The post was shared 392 times, and reached 18,000 people. So this real estate team has less than 300 people on their page, so it really kind of took this viral effect. And the dog was returned 3 days later, we believe, by the people that stole it. So we did a Facebook Live video, which is a new product that they have. And that video reached 10,000 people and had 5,000 views. And we just simply thanked everybody for returning the dog. The next week, they got 2 listings on the market that equaled $1.4 million combined, which doubled their current listing. So just being in tune with their marketing and knowing how to work it worked really well for them.
Looking back on it, do you think that you shouldn't represent yourself when doing social marketing?
If you are not comfortable with it, if you don't like social media, if you have any hesitations about it, then I would hire it out to the experts. So either outsource it or bring somebody in-house that can help you with it, because it can be a really painful process, but it's very powerful as well, and everybody should have some sort of presence online.
Jeannine, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Jeannine O'Neil, founder of JO Social Branding.